following is an exclusive presentation of Ravens Productions.
Coming up on this week's edition of Ravens Report, we sit down with Ravens tight end Mark Andrews, go all access to the Ravens win over the Cardinals, and preview Sunday's big AFC showdown against the Chiefs. All of that and more on this week's Ravens Report.
15-10-5, touchdown Ravens. They're dancing in the aisles. Oh, what a scene we have at M&T.
Ravens on three, 1, 2, 3, Ravens.
Welcome to Ravens Report from the Under Armour Performance Center. I'm Erin Hawksworth. The Ravens are 2-0, and next up is an AFC showdown against the Kansas City Chiefs. Lamar Jackson and Hollywood Brown both had great games against the Cardinals. The Young Guns helped clinch the Ravens' victory with a clutch 41-yard pass and catch in the fourth quarter. But Hollywood isn't the only Raven putting up huge numbers. Second-year tight end Mark Andrews also had a red-hot start to the season. Andrews has had 100-yard games in Week 1 and 2 and ranks 7th in the NFL in total receiving yards, number 1 among tight ends. On top of that, the former Sooner ranks number 1 in catches that led to first downs. He's turned into a dynamic receiver and one of Lamar's favorite targets. Here's Mark Andrews with Evan Washburn.
Lamar Jackson, who pumps to the right, looking for the end zone, fires down the sideline. He's got Mark Andrews. Touchdown, Ravens!
Well, Mark, this offense, I don't think it asked for a better start to the season. From your perspective, how have you guys been able to be this effective, this productive through 2 games?
Well, obviously installing a new offense, during the spring and training camp, and just the way Giro, thinks about things and the numbers that, he tries to attack defenses with, and it's always been a kind of pick your poison. We're going to take what you give us, and I think we had a really great training camp, and I think that's really helping us, right now in these first 2 games, and we have so many versatile guys. Playing with Lamar has been incredible. He's a guy that makes you right, and he's fun to play with, and we have guys surrounding him to help him out.
I know your focus is on the team and the success you guys are having, but personally, you've had an unbelievable start to this season when it comes to some of the numbers you're putting up. And we got, as a crew here at Ravens Productions, got to spend some time with you in the offseason. I think your brother might be able to start his own tight end factory if this is the type of production he's going to get from off-season work. But what did you guys do that has led to this type of start?
Just a lot of hard work. I think I had a good baseline of what I wanted to do. I kind of looked at myself in the mirror and saw some of the things I was good at and wanted to build upon that, and then saw some of the things that I needed to work on. And getting stronger and getting better at blocking is something that was big for me. Just trying to be more versatile, so when I'm on the field that defenses can't game plan and say, hey, he's only going to run a route.
Well, the other part of this offense that has really flashed through 2 games has been Marquise Hollywood. I feel like I need to say that. Brown, he's a guy you've known for a number of years. What's allowed him, you think, to make this type of impact so quickly with pretty limited practice time over the course of training camp?
I just think the way he plays and how fast he plays. He's a special player in the fact that not a lot of people can take a top off of the defense like he does, and you see him in college and you see how explosive he is, and guys like that don't always translate, but he's also a great route runner, and you don't see that very often with guys that are so fast and so explosive like that. So his first 2 games have been incredible. You see that third and 11 catch at the end of the game, and you don't see that from rookies, and he's making a name for himself.
Well, the man on the other end of that play was Lamar. What do you feel like he's brought to this year's version of this offense that's really resonating with the guys in the locker room and in the huddle as you guys prepare each week and then are out there playing games?
Well, it's just his whole persona, his swagger about him. It's infectious. It goes to everybody on the offense and everybody on the team. So just to be able to be with a guy like that in the locker room, it spreads around. But like you said before, the balls that he's throwing is out of this world. I haven't been with a quarterback that's been able to throw these type of balls that are just right on the money, and it makes our job easier. And again, it's hard for defenses to game plan for a guy like that. So pick your poison.
This is a dream matchup for football fans this Sunday in Kansas City. You were a part of this game last year, which was one of the more entertaining games, I think, of the season. Not the finish that I know you guys wanted. What do you feel like is important to take away from that game, that experience, as you look to try and grab a win this Sunday?
Well, we know the atmosphere is going to be crazy. We know that their fans are going to get into it and be extremely loud. So just being on top of it, knowing our game plan, knowing what's expected of us is going to be big, and it's going to be a dogfight. This is going to be a 60-minute game. So just go in there, being ready to play our best ball is what we're going to need.
It was an impressive pace out of the first 2 games. Good luck the rest of the way, Mark. Thanks for the time.
Thank you. Appreciate you for having me.
Mark Andrews has become such a reliable receiver for Lamar Jackson. And this week's game against the Chiefs features one of the other top tight ends in the league, Kansas City's Travis Kelce. Still to come on Ravens Report, we go all access on the field and in the locker room as the Ravens take on the Arizona Cardinals at M&T Bank Stadium. Welcome back to Ravens Report, presented by MedStar Health. I'm Erin Hawksworth. There is no place like home. The Ravens returned to Baltimore last week and picked up a huge win to improve to 2-0. The team couldn't have done it without an historic performance by Lamar Jackson, who became the first quarterback to rush for at least 120 yards and throw for over 250 yards in NFL history. Taking on a young Cardinals team with #1 overall pick Kyler Murray and former Raven Terrell Suggs, the Ravens grinded out a tough victory. Let's go all access as the Ravens return to Baltimore to face the Cardinals.
Cloudless blue sky on a pristine Sunday in Baltimore for the home opener.
But we can't hide inside ourselves. We are stronger together as one.
Play for the man next to you. When we go, we all go. As one. Here we go. All right, let's go.
Today the future intersects with the past. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens revolution run into Terrell Suggs and the Cardinals. This is it. This is the start. For Ravens fans who've been waiting, this is the moment.
Every single Sunday, you get it right in your mind to be mentally tough and get after somebody. I flip that switch every Sunday.
Touchdown, Ravens! All eyes on Hollywood.
I'm so proud of you, man. That's a big time play.
Is this the dawn of the new era, the new offenses, the new quarterbacks in the NFL? Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, both Heisman Trophy winners, both first-round picks, and both the faces of their franchise. Jackson drops to throw, under pressure, fires complete. Boyle out across the 15 to the 21-yard line with a laser throw from Lamar Jackson. Little read option, Lamar Jackson gets around the edge. He's to midfield, 45 of the Cardinals, and steps out of bounds. Hollywood Brown goes in motion, sweeps behind Lamar Jackson, who pumps to the right, looking for the end zone, fires down the sideline. He's got Mark Andrews. Touchdown, Ravens! Mark Andrews wide open down on the sideline. All eyes on Hollywood, and the Ravens get the Cardinals to take the bait, and the Ravens take the lead.
That's the way to start it. Martin.
Hell of a call. You can't ask for anything easier than that. Dude, that was money. Hey, tell Giro thanks.
So Wink Martindale's defense has to find a way to defuse the young Cardinals quarterback. Big hit on Kyler Murray. Steps up, pocket collapsing, and he's dropped back at the 34-yard line. And the pressure came from Pernell McPhee. Kyler Murray's gonna get sacked. There's number 2. Brandon Carr came in off the edge.
You played your ass off in the red zone twice. Keep that up. They can't beat us getting field goals. We don't want to give them life, okay? Let's take the life out of them.
Ravens looking for a little spark on offense. They've gone 3 and out on their last 2 possessions. It has been Lamar Jackson on the ground today. 13 carries, 127 yards, averaging almost 10 yards a carry. Jackson play fake, rolls to the right, throws. Touchdown, Hayden Hurst. It's been all sunshine and cheers up to this point, but guess what? It is game on now. Give us to David Johnson, and he walks in for the touchdown. And the Arizona Cardinals are right back in it.
Next series, they come out eagle again. We're going quarter. We're going to man these dudes up. All right, so everybody got to buck up now.
Ravens fans up on their feet, waving Ravens banners as this house is getting electric. As the crowd senses Wink Martindale's defense has a chance to tighten the screws. Murray throws across the middle. Marlon Humphrey stripped the ball free after it arrived right in his hands. Well, the crowd is stirred up, and now the defense has to try to finish off this Cardinals offense. Getting loud at M&T Bank Stadium. Murray throws quickly, coming to the near sideline, looking for Larry Fitzgerald.
Just got loud as hell. I mean, it's a loud environment, great environment to be in, and it kind of just got to us.
Wink Martindale's defense forcing a 3 and out and getting the ball back to Lamar Jackson and the offense with a chance to put this game away. It's only one time we saw Hollywood go on a deep route because the Cardinals have tried to take that part of the Ravens offense away.
Oh, they're going to come back to it, guaranteed.
Lamar Jackson in the shotgun. Cardinals rush 5. Jackson throws deep, far sideline. Caught by Hollywood Brown.
That's how you roll.
Proud of you, man. Hey, man, going all day. I knew y'all was going to get us.
Coach.
The Hayes in the barn. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens as they now move to 2-0.
I'm so proud of you, man. That's a big time play. It's just the beginning. All right, keep working hard. Right? Yes, you do.
I miss you too, man. You know I miss you.
Who's got it better than us?
Nobody!
M&T was rocking last week, and we can't wait for the Ravens' return home in 2 weeks to face the Browns. But for now, the team turns its attention to the high-flying Kansas City Chiefs. This week's game between the Ravens and Chiefs features 2 teams that won their division last year, and both have started this season 2-0. It's a matchup between 2 of the league's top offenses and 2 of the league's best young quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson are the only 2 QBs with 7 touchdown passes and 0 interceptions. Plus, both rank in the top 3 in QB rating, yards per attempt, and 20-yard completions. So it should be an intense early season test for the Ravens on Sunday in KC. Coming up on Ravens Report, we continue to look ahead to Sunday's AFC showdown with head coach John Harbaugh. He sits down with Garrett Downing next. Join the Ravens Huddle for 100 call to action on September 23rd. Join a team, pick a cause, and help us shape our community for the next 100 years. Plus, participants also have a chance to win tickets to Super Bowl 54. So register today at BaltimoreRavens.com/huddle for 100. Welcome back to Ravens Report. I'm Erin Hawksworth. The Ravens are looking to go 3-0 for the 3rd time under head coach John Harbaugh. While the Chiefs lead the overall series, the Ravens have a 3-1 record at Arrowhead, which is one of the toughest stadiums to play in the NFL. Garrett Downing caught up with Coach Harbaugh to preview what is shaping up to be one of the biggest matchups on the Week 3 schedule.
Well, Coach, thanks for being here today. I want to talk about football, but before we do that, you had a guest out here at practice today. O's manager Brandon Hyde was here. Was it fun to talk with him and spend some time together?
It was great. We really was. You know, had a little bit of time before practice started, and we sat up there. Probably went longer than we planned on. You know, and just talking a little baseball, you know, and football and coaching and players and good stories, things like that. I really enjoyed it. It was great to get to know him.
Yeah, it seemed like he just had a ball being out here as well. Now, this is a big week for you on the football field. Obviously, you're going to Kansas City, both teams 2-0. You know the environment that you're walking into. What has you excited about this game?
Well, I'm excited about all the things you just talked about. I mean, it's a big game. It's an early season game. The crowd's going to be rocking. It's their home opener. It's going to be bursting at the seams. It's so loud there. A lot of respect for Coach Reed and the program that he runs and the players they have. Just their talent. I mean, all of it. It's an opportunity for us to go into the Lions' den and test ourselves a little bit and see where we're at. So all those things we're excited for.
When we did this interview a couple weeks ago, I asked you about the speed of this team, and you said we've never had speed like this before. You weren't lying. We've seen that through the first couple of weeks. Hollywood obviously comes to mind. What has that changed? How has that speed changed what you're able to do offensively?
Well, you stretch the field offensively. I mean, we stretch the field in every direction. We stretch it vertically. We stretch it horizontally. We can get guys into spots faster, which forces the defense to move a little quicker. They can't sit on things quite the same way. Simply, really, that's what it is. Now, with that, you can't just be speed. It's not a track meet. You got to execute. You got to execute football fast. You've got to be able to run, throw, catch, block, all those things at a faster speed. So there's an exponential element to that. I think our guys are handling it pretty well.
They have Patrick Mahomes, obviously the reigning MVP, and there's a lot of respect for him from you and the players. But the players also, on defense, they're a prideful group, and they've got a lot of confidence in their abilities. Do you think when they get into a game against a player like this, that having that mentality, like they're not scared, they're not backing down from anyone, do you think that can help them when they go into this environment?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's respect, and that this hype, it just heightens the focus. You can't wait to get out there and get challenged and challenge yourself. And I mean, because we know they're so good, we want to play that much better. And I almost think in a lot of ways it takes the pressure off you. It's like, hey, let's cut it loose, let's go for it, let's play our best football in that kind of a best environment.
A guy who seems to elevate his game over the course of his career every time he's in a big game, Earl Thomas.
Yeah.
How glad are you to have him on your side for this one?
I'm real glad, man. I'm real excited. I love what he said. I love this quote. He said what he said. The good thing for the Ravens is they have me.
Yeah, exactly. They like to take some deep shots or whatever, but I can take that away. Good thing I'm on the Ravens side, basically.
I concur.
Exactly. I can't wait to see him in that game, Coach. It's going to be an awesome atmosphere, great environment, and we can't wait to see you guys get to work on Sunday.
Thanks, Garrett.
Thank you.
This week's matchup against the Chiefs takes Lamar Jackson back to Arrowhead, the site of his lone regular season loss. And for a player who remembers every defeat, even back to when he was playing youth football, there is no doubt Lamar and the Ravens will use last year's loss as motivation this Sunday. Still to come on Ravens Report. After last week's win, the Ravens were back on the field on Monday with an amazing group of athletes from Special Olympics Maryland. We hit the field for the Play 60 All-Ability Football Clinic next. After the Ravens' big win on Sunday against the Cardinals, Nick Boyle and Patrick Owasu and the Ravens' teammates hit the field again on Monday, this time for the third annual All-Ability Football Clinic with athletes from Special Olympics Maryland. Over 75 athletes participated in the Play 60 Clinic, which encourages individuals to be active for 60 minutes a day. But it's not all about the play on the field, it's the relationships between the Ravens and the athletes of Special Olympics Maryland.
You ready? Up top, baby. You ready? Yes.
You getting that work in?
We at the Baltimore Ravens are so excited for you to be here today. I just can't tell you how special you are.
Today was our annual Special Olympics Play 60 football clinic. We had over 75 athletes from Special Olympics Maryland come out here today. They competed against some of our Ravens players. They did one-on-one drills, head-to-head competition, tug of war. It was a great day of athleticism, competition, and fun.
Good job. Good job.
Hey, just prepare. Just prepare. I'm gonna be just like that. Be prepared. I'm gonna be just like that.
I'm gonna be right there on you too.
I ain't know you catch that. Let's go. Let's go. You ain't get off the line. You ain't get off the line. I don't hear nothing. You got me. I don't hear nothing. You got me. I don't hear nothing. You got me. Hey, do it again. Do it again. I don't hear nothing.
Coach, your peanut ain't ready for none of this. Marquise Hollywood Brown. It's all about Hollywood this year.
The relationships are awesome, and you can see it in both
in Nick and Patrick when they came out today, and our athletes. Our athletes were looking for them, and when they saw them, the energy and the connection is so authentic. And what it really shows is the ability and the culture of the Ravens to build interactive, inclusive communities of dignity and respect. It's the team culture permeated its way into the clinics today, and our athletes had a great time.
Good job, man. It's just a great vibe. You see a lot of the same kids that was out here last year. You get to just enjoy the moments and just know they coming out here to work and just having fun. That's probably one of the biggest goals, just for them to have fun when they come out here. I'm playing tight coverage now. I'm playing tight coverage. I'm playing tight coverage now.
Oh, Peanut, yes!
What happened though?
Oh, Peanut, that was the best!
You got me one time.
They're dialed in on everything. It's really awesome. Everything you really tell them to do, they do it great. And, they're really focused on doing it to the best of their ability.
Football and the love of football between the players, the organization, our athletes brought them together, and through that interaction, relationships were built. And so it just is another demonstration how through sport we're creating those opportunities for our athletes.
You want something, a handshake?
It's good. Dad didn't have ice. Man, my brother Peanut over here. Peanut ain't ready for me. Told everybody.
Yeah, he talking a lot of smack. I'm gonna get him next year. He got me this year. I'm gonna get him next year.
Good job.
The Ravens are determined to make an impact on and off the field this season. For all the talk about Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs' high-powered offense, the Ravens' offense actually ranks higher than the Chiefs. Offensive coordinator Greg Roman's unit is ranked #1 in total offense, #1 in rushing offense, and are the #4 passing offense. Sunday's game, featuring two of the top teams in the NFL, is going to be a fun one to watch. That's it for this week's show. Hopefully next week we're talking about another Ravens victory. We'll see you next week on Ravens Report.